Hey, it's the god awful gospel hour stream. We're streaming our Sunday service because I was too lazy. I didn't want to have to edit it all, so I'm just gonna record a stream.
We're playing Elden Penis.
The eldest.
Elden. Oh, so I have a friend who's old, and he's married. We were taking a walk,
Yeah.
and he was like, "Yeah, I was talking about pussy or something," and he was like, "Yeah, my dick doesn't work anymore." And I was like, "Really?" It was really, I don't know how I'm gonna act when my dick doesn't work anymore, but I'm sure. I mean, probably it stopped a long time ago, and it takes a while for you to be okay to talk about it. You gotta wear it in.
Yeah.
But
wait for the sensitivity to end.
yeah, I didn't want him to feel bad, so I was like, "What's it like to make clear decisions?
Yeah.
Not based on like anything that any girl wants ever. Like if your dick doesn't work anymore,
Yeah.
fuck it. You don't. Those are the guys that start companies. Turner Broadcasting, Rupert Murdoch.
Yeah, like they're the Jim Camerons, the
Yeah.
people who go down to the bottom of the Mariana Trench and they build submarines and
Yeah, I used to work.
They make
just so I could-
IMAX movies.
I used to work just so I could feed kids and make my wife happy, and now I work just to take over the world.
Yeah.
I'm gonna rule media.
I work for sport, for pleasure.
Yeah, it becomes a game at that point.
Yeah.
Those are the people. Those are Mitch McConnell. They just are
my
around
dick
to
doesn't work,
fuck
so
with people.
I'll just make sure that Republicans win every battle for 25 years, and then
Yeah, his dick don't work.
by the time I die, America will be a smoking wasteland.
Who cares?
Yeah, I'm gonna grab my drink here.
My ungrateful children. They're not gonna care. All right, so I'm gonna equip my horse. Spectral steed. You have to assign it to a button. Then we can ride the horse around and not get fucked with.
Yeah, I let my
I can't remember where.
Xbox Game Pass lapse, but
There we go. Pouch.
I got Elden Ring for $41 on Black Friday, so I at least have one permanent game.
Elden penis. But you know how they say your balls sag when you're old?
Yeah, they like get longer or whatever.
What if does your chode hang low? too?
Like the part between your butthole and your
Does
balls.
everything get saggy down there?
I don't know.
Like a turkey giblet?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. Like people, like prostates get swollen and stuff. Like, which sounds horrible.
Dick don't work no more. Chode down to my thigh.
Yeah.
God damn it. Why even try? All right, so if we do R1, L2, which one is it? Summon my horse. How do I summon my horse?
Just summon some whores.
Oh,
That's what we should do to this house. We should summon some
There we go.
whores.
Here, now you can play.
Okay, hang on.
You need a Garth Brooks mic. This is making a good case for the lavaliers.
I know. Maybe we should do that. Those are expensive though.
Those lavaliers.
It's time for some. It's time for some donations.
Really fat face so you can...
Yeah. It's time for some donations, please.
Oh, yeah.
Buy us some lavalier mics so that we don't have to hold our microphones in our hands.
But then we got to get a third guy to read all the comments
Yeah.
and go, hey, look at this person. They gave something.
Yeah.
That's what's cool now, is watching people people make comments and say what comments the people made.
Yeah.
It's shout outs. Everybody wants a shout out. We got to give a shout out to Nazim from Breadbasket.
Yeah, our guy.
Our boy.
Yeah.
He watches the show on TikTok, and he also maintains order in one of the most chaotic places in South Austin. Every time you go over there was something going on there at 2 a.m. the other night. I got a text from Norberto about it.
I was in there the other day, and there was a guy standing there just going on and on and on about something, like some Hall of Fame somewhere
Yeah.
for some sport that he went to.
Okay.
And the Breadbasket guys were just patiently standing there listening to him.
I know. You got a captive audience over there.
Yeah.
You got two people. They have to listen.
Yeah, it's like
I have a microphone and you don't.
yeah. The same kind of people who don't realize the waitress isn't flirting with them.
So we went to visit with a friend on Friday night, and then the visit with the friend. Her baby was asleep, so we were just gonna chill in the backyard. First, we got there and I had to fix the fan. The fan had misters on it, and
Yeah.
they weren't working.
Like outdoor fan
Yeah,
mister?
it was it's an oscillating fan with misters
Yeah,
on
right.
it. But you know, it was at a girl's house, so she probably tried to fix it and fucked it up. And now I got to go fix it the rest of the way. And she was like, "It's so great to have a pair of man hands around here to help." I was like, your hands do work the same. I'm just turning the little thing on the.
There's nothing inherently masculine about
No.
the ability of my hands.
There's 3 metal screw-in, diodes on the front of the fan
Right.
that spray more
Yeah.
or less water depending on what level you want the mister. And she had them fucked up so they weren't spraying and they were leaking out. So you just have to turn it left a little bit, righty tighty, lefty loosey.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a sexist too. Lucy,
Why's it got to be Lucy?
lazy Susan. Why is
Yeah,
it called a
yeah.
lazy Susan?
Right.
So the party, I thought it was going to be just chilling in the, visit with a friend. She invited more people. There got more drugs got involved, and it started to feel kind of swingery, so we had to leave. They were like,
Felt
"We're
a
going
little
to do
bit swingery.
shrooms. Do you want to do shrooms?" And we were like, "Not with this weird stranger." Guy came over, 55-year-old guy with a vest and no shirt on.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think he showed up for a different kind of party than we
Yeah.
were aware of.
If I'd known it was be that kind of party.
He was trying to stick his dick in the
Mashed potatoes. Yeah.
We were like, "We don't have that here,
Mm-hmm.
sir." And then, I fixed the fan, and I jumped in the pool, and then the girl sat on my lap, and I threw her in the pool, and then I got more and more drunk, and I drove home to get more beers and came back. It was right over on Shiloh, and then it was just like, it's time to go. Oh yeah, we were leaving, and Kristen handed me a bottle of wine.
Yeah.
My wife handed me a bottle of wine and was like, "Here, take this and put it inside." But I heard take this and put it in the car. So then we went home and we got a text from the hostess of the party that said, "Did you just steal my wine?" I was like, "I thought she said put it in the car." I thought it was ours. I don't know.
That was my wine.
Yeah, she handed it to me and said, "Take this." That's all I heard. It was like a half bottle of rosé. I mean, I know we don't have that. We don't
Right.
keep that around.
Right.
But yeah, we didn't party too much there because we had to go to a children's birthday party the next day. And there was 40 people there. It was a pool party. It was a backyard with a pool. I didn't take a shower. I should have took a shower. I was like, I'm just going to jump in the pool. It was a Bert Kreischer method,
Yeah. Just be. Yeah.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
which is cool if you bring a bar of soap in the pool. At
Yeah. I don't
least.
need to bathe. I just jump in the pool.
I guess if you've got the chlorine turned way up, then it's pretty clean.
Yeah.
Just fry all the dirt off your balls, your COVID balls. But there were so many children at this party. At both of these parties, the problem was the hostess of the house.
Yeah.
When a lady in charge of an event at a house, they get real loud.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna get into that here in a little bit about your loud feminists.
Oh yeah. Right. Right.
You sent me something about the
Right.
loudest feminists,
Right.
and I was like, "Would there's quiet ones? There's vegans without bumper stickers?"
Yeah, no. What I said is, I said all the like female friends I have that are the loudest about feminism and all that, and the patriarchy, they all make like over $200,000 a year, and I'm like, how did the patriarchy let you make that much money?
Yeah. Why are they even worried about dudes anymore?
Yeah.
You made it.
Yeah,
You don't have to worry about asshole dickheads now.
yeah.
You somehow
No,
navigated your womanly
know.
way into the.
I know multiple. What you would say. Boss bitches that
Yeah.
are constantly talking about how horrible things are
Yeah.
for women and how evil the patriarchy is, but they make a lot of money. They make more money than the average man.
Smarter than the average bear.
Yep.
So, and somehow it's a man's world.
Yep.
This horse can tank fall damage sometimes.
it
Other times not.
died.
Died.
It disappeared like an Akashic.
I love how mean these games are.
Yeah.
Everyone has a different you failed. You
Right.
suck.
Right.
There's always big red words on the screen. I wonder what it's going to be with Armored Core. You exploded.
Yeah. Yeah. So are they doing Armored Core?
Armored Core 6 is from Software,
Oh, it's from Software. Yeah.
but it's not Souls-like at all. Everybody,
Yeah, right.
I mean, everybody's waiting for the DLC for this because they released a painting, and they were
Right.
like, "There's DLC
Right.
coming," and
Oh, right. I forgot my.
it's called something.
I forgot my my stuff is not on.
What stuff? Share your voice.
My network.
Share your
My
voice.
network isn't working.
Well, this game doesn't work. It works offline. I
Yeah.
had to skip all the online stuff.
Right.
So the hostess of the pool party took shrooms, and the dad of the pool party was already pretty good and drunk, and there was so many people there. It was insane. So I just hid in the corner.
Yeah.
With people that I knew, because the night before I was already all socialed out from that weird ass shroom swinger party. So I just found some friends that I knew, and I was like, "Will you sit in a corner with me, please? I have crippling social anxiety," which is a mean way to say. Would you say that you had crippling social anxiety around someone in a wheelchair?
Yeah.
I was making a bunch of old people
Yeah.
jokes in front of that old dude, and I kept thinking maybe I shouldn't say this, but I wasn't
How
looking at
cool
him.
is he? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, if you say you have crippling social anxiety in front of a friend in a wheelchair, they'd be like, "What do you do when you have anxiety in a room? You just walk out
Right.
with your legs? Must be nice." When I have social anxiety, I have to disengage the brake on my wheelchair, turn it around, go, "All right, everyone, I'm leaving."
Yeah.
It's like saying you
that's a
got
good
raped on the price at the auto dealership.
Yeah.
Talk to a rape victim
Yeah.
about how they raped you at
they
Hyundai.
They raped you for money by making you spend more money than you should have.
But yeah, the hostess at the pool party took shrooms and licked my wife in the face.
You didn't need the in the face. You could just said, "Lick my wife."
Yeah.
You could have just let it sit there. You could have just let it go out
It
into
was
the
good.
world.
It was
Yeah.
good with that. Just
Yeah.
licked
Yeah.
like the ocean in Puerto Rico.
Leave it up to their imagination where
Where
the
the
lick
lick-
happened.
The location of the
Yeah.
licking is neither here nor there. And then the birthday girl got mad at her big sister and threw a crock at her face because she was trying to do a cute birthday put frosting on you trick, like
Right.
TikTok.
Right.
You know, people go happy birthday. Now
But-
there's cake on you.
But you do not mock the youngest child, especially not on her birthday.
not on the 8th birthday.
You're the younger one, right?
Yeah.
Youngest. Like, this is just you and your sister,
Yeah.
right? Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have. I've been coming up with a thing about the youngest siblings and how spoiled they always are. But I
Yeah.
don't know if you were the spoiled one or not.
I always
I
felt
mean-
like a redheaded stepchild.
Yeah, you
Like
felt
I
like
was an afterthought.
yeah,
Like everything was fine. Having same with my family.
Yeah.
We had a beautiful daughter. Everything was nice, and then we had a boy, and it's chaos.
you had the opposite of a friend of ours. Yeah, me and my stepsister were talking about the youngest children because the youngest children we're riffing on the idea. So I'm gonna start working on some younger brother material.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
You gonna bring your younger brother out to see you do stand up? Hey, you helped with this, so you should come.
And what's funny is I have like 3 or 4 really funny but kind of humiliating stories about him.
Yeah.
That every time I tell them, he gets mad and he's like, "You just keep telling the same stories over and over." And I'm like, "I haven't told this story in 6 years."
But it's your life, though,
Yeah,
too.
Yeah.
It's both of y'all's life. People try to get mad at you for telling embarrassing stories, and like, you did that in my life
Right.
story. It's part of my experience,
yeah.
too.
This is part of the narrative, bro.
I got to be there, and unfortunately
Yeah.
for you, you did something hilarious,
Yeah.
and I need to tell people.
Well, one time he was, God, how old was he? He was maybe 10 at the most. He might have been younger. And we were standing in the hallway between our bedrooms, and my mom was there, and I guess we were fighting. Me and my brother were arguing, and she was kind of just around. And I said, I don't remember what it was I said, but I said something that made him so mad
Yeah.
that he ran and charged at me.
Yeah.
And it was like a ninja move. All I did was stick my knee up in the air,
Yeah.
and he rammed his solar plexus
rage.
directly into my knee, and it knocked the wind out of him, and he passed out
UFC'd
right
him.
there. He lost consciousness. He sank down.
You Jake Pauled him in the chest with your leg.
He sank down to the ground, and my mom like caught him, was like, Dustin, and he just got his eyes just went off, staring off into space, and then he goes and he starts crying, and he goes, "I saw an angel."
That was the whiteness of the pain creeping in from the edges of his vision that you caused.
"I saw an angel. It was coming down from heaven."
People think it's an angel, but it's white hot agony, just causing your vision to blur from the edges.
And he hates that story. He hates that story, and I always find the best times to tell it too. Oh, he's like, oh man, like he gets mad at both me and my dad for. I was just telling the same story over and over and over, but they're good stories.
Your mommy was like, "You were looking in the mirror, baby. You were my angel. It's yourself."
Oh man.
My wife got a text from an old friend the other day, and she said, "Are Ethiopian beads mined by children?" These are the things that old hippie women text each
Right.
other about. Like
Right.
this, so general. There's no way anybody could know which beads, which children,
Yeah.
which Ethiopia,
Right.
which. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
She's in Virginia. How do you think the beads got there?
Yeah.
Every child in Ethiopia that gets any beads from anywhere is probably a slave to something. None
Yeah.
of them get paid fair.
Yeah.
So anything that imported from any country with not labor laws,
Mm-hmm.
you're supporting child slavery, probably.
Yeah. That's why we have to go be primitive. We have to go primitive life. We have to basically be Tyler Durden's goal, right? Because
Yeah.
Tyler Durden's goal in Fight Club was to destroy all credit,
Yeah,
send us back to like hunter-gatherer society,
yeah.
and then we'd be happy.
That's my idea for America.
Yeah.
The close, please excuse our dust
Yeah, yeah.
sign.
Shut down.
But just go back a couple hundred years to where it's none of my business what's happening in another country.
Right.
I shouldn't know. Like, Hawaii's on fire.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Well, so King's Hawaiian rolls are going to go up in price probably. That's going to
Yeah.
affect my life.
Well, I get to hear every time I talk to every couple of weeks I talk to my mom on the phone, and I get to hear all the stupid fucking conspiracy theories that she's seeing on TikTok.
Yeah.
And she couches it in like she doesn't really believe them.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I bet the algorithm is working its magic on you. And every time I tell her, TikTok is programming people. It's China. I'm like,
Yeah.
I try to get her conspiracy hackles going in the correct direction,
Yeah.
but that's not going to stop her from getting on TikTok and hearing about how Joe Biden, is responsible for the hurricane that started the fires, and they're trying to get rid of people. So that's why they let all those people in Maui burn.
I have all the documentation
Yeah,
right here.
I got it all right here. I mean, it's Alex Jones shit.
Yeah,
know.
it's not. I don't. We got too big when we got Hawaii. We didn't need
Yeah,
Hawaii.
we didn't need Hawaii.
We need a mainland. A country should have a chunk. I mean, even if we shut down to the rest of the world, like we're not involved in anyone else's business anymore,
Yeah.
and we're just gonna do us for a while. Like it's not you, it's me. Break up
Yeah.
from America to
Yeah.
the rest of the world. We just need to work on ourselves for a little while. We need to have a safe space.
Right.
But then we're still going to have, Mexico and Canada,
Uh-huh.
but they don't do anything. Unless they got attacked, then we would, I guess, hear about if there was Russians lining up at Canada
Yeah.
to come down. I mean, that's probably the kind of thing that we have spies and everything for. That's fine. We can still have spies and intelligence. I just don't need to know any of it.
Right.
I don't want to know who the Secretary of Defense is. It doesn't change my life.
Well, yeah, I definitely don't want to hear the opinions of people who don't know that information whenever they're trying to convince me that there's a secret society of everything. Like,
Yeah.
Wouldn't I say that on one of the podcasts that like, I'm tired of having to listen to the political opinions of somebody that doesn't know how Congress works or
Yeah.
that there's two branches of Congress.
Yeah.
Stuff that we learned these things in high school. You should have learned these
I
thing.
mean, I was born and raised in D.C. I know how a lot of it works.
Yeah.
All I know is that it's fucked up, and
Yeah,
I
it's
left.
all bullshit.
I left
Yeah.
because I didn't want to be close to it. I felt too much bad energy.
Right.
I had a buddy whose dad died in the Langley shooting in the parking lot of the CIA building.
Yeah. When was that? Like,
It's not late 90s, mid to
okay.
late 90s.
Yeah.
He was a cool skater, and then he became a goth because his dad got killed.
He turned into Vito's son from from The Sopranos.
Yeah.
Whenever Vito turns out he's gay and he runs away to New Hampshire. Have you watched? You don't remember that, right?
Yeah.
And then he comes back and gets killed by what's his name? Phil Leotardo. And then like a couple episodes later, his son starts getting into trouble, and he's like all goth, and he's hanging out in cemeteries.
Yeah.
They send him off to military school.
Quit being a fag.
Oh man, you haven't watched It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia much, have you?
I know Philly sucks. I don't. It's like The
Yeah.
Wire. I don't need to watch stuff about Philly.
Well, it's not. Well,
I know. It's barely about Philly.
It's about like
about a bar.
it's like a Seinfeld group of characters, but there's one guy who cheats on his wife, and basically the gang ruins him and his
Dude's
wife's
rocking,
marriage.
yeah.
And then at some point, they had to sit down and talk to his kid, and his kid's got eyeliner on. He's like a 10-year-old kid, blonde kid. He's got eyeliner on. He's just talking shit about his dad. Like, it's so perfect.
Do you think you should, if a kid's dad dies in the military, should you tell the kid, thank you for your service? Thank you for giving your father to the country?
Yeah.
Then
I mean,
he gets passed down the glory.
who was it?
Stolen valor, but hereditarily.
Who were we on with whenever, was it Jason about the Orange Lives Matter?
Yeah.
It's like,
It was Peasy.
oh, it's Peasy, right? It's
Because he was talking about tow truck drivers.
right, tow truck drivers. But then there's the women that put resume, like military service, on their resume.
Yeah.
Because their husband's in the military. It's like that kind of like stolen. They're stealing your family valor.
Oh, they should put your pregnancy on your resume.
Yeah, right. You
I
should
can
definitely
stand up in the face of adversity.
Yeah.
One of my children's cousin's friend was over earlier today, and she was talking about some lady the lady from Spider-Verse,
Yeah.
the big bitch on the motorcycle.
Okay.
She's pregnant, and she's Spider-Woman, and she's on a motorcycle. It's not realistic at all. She doesn't ever get tired or anything.
Yeah.
And she was like, I want to be like her when I grow up. She's working and she's pregnant, but I want to do that, but minus the pregnancy. And I was like, that's just everyone.
Right.
Everyone works and is not pregnant. I was like, you should work for the city. You get 3 months off.
Right.
For being pregnant. Dudes get 3 months off.
Yeah, that's how it should be.
Yeah. Any city has that. Chick-fil-A, if you go there. So your mom's house does this funny thing where people call in with videos of them saying, thanks, Mommy, I love you, or whatever at the drive-thru.
Hey, Hitler, yeah.
Yeah. So I want, if, eventually, if we get enough congregation,
right,
we're not going to say followers. We're going to have our own words for these people.
Right.
If we get enough worshipers to our death cult, our death, sex, blood cult, we could get people to call in and make the Chick-fil-A people say my pleasure over and over again. Because they're like compulsive there. Like I say thank you as much as I can.
Yeah.
I do it anyway. I try to be polite with it. America's heroes, the service workers. Uh-oh. Your phone is playing an old show.
Oh, badass.
Automatically.
Yeah, it's doing some stuff. It's like, hey, I'm just going to do weird shit.
Did you just make it do that?
No, I think it left the YouTube or something. On today's episode,
I edit these, and then I edit the clips on the shitter, and my wife comes by the bathroom and goes, "Are you listening to yourself in there?"
Dude, I get so whenever I have to edit an episode, I start hearing myself talk in my sleep. Like I'm hearing myself talk to myself, and it drives me insane. Like whenever I get done editing an episode, I am so tired of the sound of my voice. Yeah.
You folded reality.
Oh my God. Yeah.
So if you can go to Chick-fil-A, every time you say thank you, they have to say my pleasure, I think.
Yeah.
I've noticed it. Every time you say thank you, they say my pleasure.
Right.
That must be in their thing, their manual, their training video, something. And it's compulsive with them. Like if you start saying thank you more than you need to, just for any little thing, like I'll run them. I'll ask for extra sauce just so that they can bring it, and then I can say thank you, and they have to say my pleasure. But sometimes, if you're slick enough, you can sneak a fuck you in there, and then they say my pleasure because they can't really hear you.
Right.
So if you can get a video of you saying fuck you to a Chick-fil-A person after a couple thank yous, while you already got them going on the my pleasure thing, I just need someone to send me proof of. I'll do it myself. We'll get it. This podcast is sponsored by Chick-fil-A.
Yep.
By the way, we don't support gay cake stores that sell gay cakes.
We're only sponsored by Chick-fil-A because we love the chicken.
Because we're going to go there and make them say my pleasure to a fuck you and get it on video.
Right.
Eventually. The, we were talking earlier about the content sludge pipe. And you feel force-fed this stuff?
It's well, I mean, it's like...
that's what people say.
I mean, if there's a McDonald's on every corner, right? Are you being force-fed McDonald's even though you don't go and eat it? You know, it was like, another McDonald's. Look, another McDonald's,
But
that's kind of what it feels like.
The YouTube shorts and the TikTok are force feeding.
Oh yeah, that's
what
content
everybody's
sludge.
Complaining about the shorts now because as soon as you turn on YouTube, it just plays shorts.
Yeah,
automatically. It didn't used to do that. YouTube used to say, "Oh, you're open. You pick a video, whatever you want to watch."
Yeah.
But now YouTube and TikTok both they come on and they just go, "Hey
there,
Here's some stuff. Here's an ad for Medea Gets a Job on Broadway. I don't know why I'm being marketed a play,
Yeah.
a theater play on YouTube.
Did you like a lot of Tyler Perry stuff? What's going on?
No.
going
But
on?
all his movies are based on like wacky ideas, like
Right.
Ernest Goes to Jail type of stuff.
Right, except that he's just the one. He's the mad. It started with Diary of a Mad Black Woman.
Yeah.
I guess that was the first one. And when did that? It was like early 2000s, right? And apparently, it's one of those things that I've over the years I've noticed. It's like there are things in black culture that just never make it to us, to
No.
white people, and that we will never understand.
Yeah.
I'll never understand Tyler, like the Medea stuff, like
No.
why that's funny.
You can't understand because you didn't live that.
Yeah,
You're not in that life.
yeah, and even like I can't even come at it from any direction where I'm like where I laugh anywhere near as hard as
I like
what people
Friday.
laugh.
Friday's
Yeah,
hilarious.
Friday, but that's I don't know, that like bridges the gap somehow.
Yeah, Stoner.
Yeah, it was the
Meets
same.
everybody in the middle at
The guy that I was talking about the other day, the guy who did Dolomite, Rudy Ray Moore.
Yeah.
Yeah, whenever his records started coming out, white people did not understand him at all. Like
Yeah.
only black people bought the Rudy Ray Moore records.
Oh, that shit's awesome.
But yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
But you can kind of understand how like I don't know, it's just such a different cultural perspective that you just can't get it at all.
Though I mean, they're faster than us. There was a
Yeah.
bald guy. Another guy told me he looked like a half-sucked milk dud. That's awesome. It would take me 3 days to write that.
God, there was a female comedian that popped up on my shorts or something talking about the greatest insult that she ever saw was on one of those cheaters type shows where the wife catches the guy cheating with the girl and she goes, "She looks like she can't even read." It's like the perfect insult.
You know why black people are faster at jokes than white people is because we bred them to be with their Achilles tendons.
They have to be smart about how not to get.
They
not
had to
get the
joke their
whip.
way out of slavery.
Actually, you know what? That there might be something to that.
Yeah, you gotta have a good.
They had to
sense of
perform
humor.
their way out of slavery.
Gotta have a good sense of humor to put up with that bullshit.
I mean, like, just look at the music and the humor, and they start so much culture.
Yeah, well, it's better. It's richer culture.
Yeah, so much culture for white women to steal the valor of and start saying the stupid words like "I'm shook."
I was
Or,
pregnant, so basically I'm black because
yeah.
I was pregnant.
Yeah, I had to shoot my shot.
I'm in a group.
Yeah,
So Medea Gets a Job. You know, all his movies are based on some wacky idea.
yeah.
And the newest one is that a woman is working. This is like the
What a
poster.
crazy
Yeah.
idea!
Whoa. Ernest goes to jail and Medea is getting a job. Woman is
Medea
going to
gets a
work.
job.
There's too much ripe low hanging fruit there.
Yeah. Oh, that was from 2013. There must be a theatrical
Yes.
stage play. Well, all that stuff started as stage plays too.
Medea's That Is Not My Job.
Yeah, that is not my job. So did you see that Tyler Perry, the South Park episode about Tyler Perry with Funny Bot and all that?
No.
You never saw that when they kept making these Tyler Perry joke where Tyler Perry shows up as Medea in South Park and starts just going, my lord! And then Token goes, and keeps handing him money. And they say, Token, if you don't stop giving Tyler Perry money, he's never going to go away.
Thank you for pronouncing it properly. Is it Medea? That's my bad.
Yeah, Medea. Yeah,
I didn't want to.
I think it's Medea. Media.
Are you supposed to pronounce it correctly, or is that cultural appropriation for you to say it right?
Yeah,
Corrido.
yeah, am I code switching? Am I
Yeah.
saying like a Latino? Like a Latinx?
So we had a incident with some people that I know where someone was on the spectrum and then ended up doing something violent, and it reminded me of the school shooter situation.
Yeah.
In America.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of angry autistic males that if they don't get pussy, they're gonna shoot up a school. It's a bunch of angry dudes.
Yeah.
That if there's a men's mental health crisis.
Yeah.
And because they're not helping us, we get violent.
Yeah.
It's like a baby.
Yeah, we need to. I mean,
If you don't give me what I want, I'm gonna have an outburst.
so obviously we need to start distributing pussy.
Yeah.
We need to redistribute pussy.
We need a
Well, we
Canadian
have-
healthcare plan for pussy.
We have a
Andrew Yang's
a
poontang.
tiny little. We have to take the top 1%, get the pussy from the top 1% and redistribute it to all of the incels to stop the school shootings.
Systematic oppression of penises that don't get any sucking.
I am Bernie Sanders and I am running for president for 2024.
It's not fair that these young men are out here lonely and sad.
We redistribute the pussy.
They need help, and also we would like for them to please stop shooting up the schools, if that would be all right.
It's the billionaires, the
I mean, that's what
people who are worth billions in pussy. Those are the real crooks.
That's what men do when they get frustrated. They do have violent outbursts.
Yeah.
I guess. I mean, you don't see that a lot. Women, they poison people or they burn their children's hand on the oven. Or
Yeah,
something
yeah.
weird. They get real deep, weird.
Yeah, they get real psychological with it.
Yeah.
These are just like, I'm gonna kill everybody.
Yeah, that's who came up with systematic
Yeah.
oppression.
Yeah,
The people that don't just have normal violent outbursts and hit something.
the ones who have systematic approaches, underhanded approaches to revenge.
What is insidious?
I am once again asking you, please, if you could give me a pussy.
So I found I ended up coming up with a funny anecdote about that secret stuff I was telling you about the other day on the phone. Being married is like being gay in that other women are more comfortable around me.
Right? Yeah, yeah.
They wear not anything, and they just are super chill because they know I'm not going to do nothing.
Right.
So I get to be like the gay guy from the movie or the fake gay guy that's actually straight and the girl's changing clothes in front of him. What movie is that?
Oh,
And he's like, oh my God.
that's a Adam Sandler movie. That's a Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry.
Yeah.
It's like, ooh, gross, whenever he has to like touch her boobs.
So yeah, that's one of the perks of being married is people know you're not gonna ruin 4 lives
Yeah.
with a little
Yeah.
fuck up, so they can be chill around you.
Or they just like torture.
I mean, girls they talk about dicks and pussies a lot when guys aren't around, or when guys that are around are married.
Yeah.
All the demure, whatever we're talking about, the rules of
Yeah. It's like,
manners.
yeah, it's
goes
talking
out
to
the
you is
window.
like talking to your wife.
Yeah. She's here. I've got representation. I've got ghetto representation in the
Yeah.
female community. I brought a token female with me. So the COVID.
Hey, it's like whenever. Sorry, I had ice in my mouth.
Yeah.
It's like in Final Fantasy 16. You know how all the people can use magic are called bearers and they're slaves. They're branded.
Mm-hmm.
And so if like you have an owner,
Yeah.
then the owner puts like a pin on your chest so that you can like go do an errand for her,
Yeah.
or him or her, and so people aren't like, oh, you're a runaway slave or whatever. That's like what you are whenever you're with your wife. It's like you've got her mark on you.
I'm the guy from Half Baked. You
So
can't steal my fruit cocktail.
Right.
I'm somebody's bitch.
Yeah, I'm somebody's bitch.
So COVID was made apparently accidentally by having a wet market in the same strip mall as a biolab,
Yeah,
because that's how they do it in China.
Yeah.
They put,
yeah,
they
right.
put biological weapon research in the same
Yeah,
Brody
right,
Oaks
right.
strip mall supermarket as the wet market. Which that's also how babies are made. Your balls are the biolab.
Yeah,
And
right.
the pussy
right,
is the wet market.
right.
So you don't put the biolab next to the wet market, you're going to end up with horrible, harmful organisms that spread around the world and destroy everything. Either
Yeah.
COVIDs or children. Either way.
That's a good line. You're gonna have to write that one down about how.
Don't-
Yeah, apparently diseases are made whenever a biolab is next to a wet market.
The balls and the vagina.
Oh man.
So yeah, we're talking about being old. The last couple ones, you're like, we're so old.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
my
looking
life is
forward
over.
to being grumpy,
Yeah.
old man. You remember when the news was true? That's how we know we're old.
Yeah, I know.
We're so old. We remember when the news was the 5 W's.
Yeah.
And somebody had to get a journalism degree
Yeah.
to report the news to the world. That's probably why I'm so weary of it. I want to shut down and close off. I don't need to know about other countries anymore
Yeah.
because a lot of it's unnecessary.
Maybe we should just worry about the neighborhood. Maybe we should not have any contact with any of the outside world. Not listen to any news from
A
anywhere.
pregnant lady in Croatia stubbed her toe this
Yeah.
morning. More on this and after the break, Bob.
Yeah.
Like, no, leave me alone. I've got my own stubbed toes. to
Maui
worry
is
about.
on fire and everyone is dead. Oh, I just sit in Maui.
You know how the Austin comedy scene is its own thing now?
Yeah.
I mean, I never heard of another city having a comedy scene besides LA or New York, really. I mean, Chicago, they've got like the Second City stuff.
I mean, I guess certain cities, a big enough city, they all have a comedy scene.
I mean, Chappelle came from D.C., but
Yeah.
I was never aware of a D.C. scene
Yeah.
when I was there, but I was 20.
Well, I mean, there was the Boston scene
Yeah.
in the early '90s. That's where like Bill Burr and Patton Oswalt and Dane Cook and all those guys came from. There was a big Boston scene, and then they all moved. But it's like those are like the feeder cities that send you to New York or L.A., right? They all of them started in Boston, and they eventually moved to New York City.
That's how I want to live. That's how I want to win Civ.
Yeah.
By a comedy religion. Cultural victory from having a ton
victory.
of comedy clubs in my town.
Yeah.
You won. You laughed everyone else to death.
That's how you mix Sim City with
Yeah.
Civilization.
It's the same as spreading butt stuff.
Yeah.
Religion. But I mean, I wonder if other cities are jealous of Austin's comedy scene. I mean, does it stimulate the economy? We're all broke.
Yeah.
It's like, we're great. We
Yeah.
have people making jokes here.
Yeah, now you can afford your $2,500 a month 1-bedroom apartment.
I mean, I'm sure it drives tourism. There's people that come from all over to go to the mothership and stuff.
Yeah, well, the mothership I could see.
It's starting to become like the seller in the store.
Yeah, I mean that was the whole idea behind it, that Joe Rogan wanted to start his own comedy store.
Have you ever been to Matagorda Bay in Texas? It's between Corpus and Port A. Big
Okay.
bay.
No, I've probably been around, like driven around it.
Do you know what Matagorda means?
No.
Just kill the fat lady.
No way. Matar
Uh-huh.
and gorda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so Matamoros
Yeah.
is kill the black people.
What?
The Moors. Remember the Moors?
Yeah, yeah.
The
Well, that would make sense because it is Spain. That's where they
yeah, that's what they call black people in Spanish, Moros. That's what's his face from Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves?
yeah.
Bob and Danny
I
Dufresne
know.
was he was a Moor. He had all the freckles.
Matagorda is actually the Spanish word meaning thick bush.
Yeah, same thing. Supposed to murder that pussy.
Matagorda.
Okay. Yeah, somebody looked at a big thick bush and said, that makes me want to kill a fat woman. Let's call it after that.
All right, now I got Matamoros translation. Yeah, killer of Moors.
Yeah.
Yeah, given to Spain's patron saint, Saint James in the Middle Ages. Oh, so it's named after a saint.
So this is like Lynchburg, Virginia.
Yeah,
There's
right.
towns in Mexico called Matamoros.
Yeah, kill the Moor, the Moor killer. Yeah,
Christiansburg, Lynchburg, and Blacksburg. Yeah. Somebody pulled that same shit on me hanging out the other night. I asked them if they'd seen a show, and they were like, I don't watch TV. And I was like, I don't need your life story.
yeah.
I didn't ask you if you watch TV. And all those people have phones
Yeah,
and laptops. It's not like there are no screens ever.
yeah.
So
Are they
you're
saying
gonna
they don't
see-
watch Netflix? Or are they saying they don't watch Hulu? They don't watch
Whatever.
streaming? At this point, whenever somebody's like, I don't watch TV, do they mean they just don't watch streaming services?
Yeah.
You know, it's because nobody's sitting there flipping through the channels like we used to, right? They're just scrolling through what's on streaming.
What's the best comeback to I don't watch TV? I don't talk to pretentious cunts. So we've reached an impasse here.
Yeah,
You clearly are no match for my
Yeah.
wit.
yeah.
And I'm no match for your strength.
I'm no match for your pretentiousness. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to think of that. Like maybe we should, if we ever had commenters, we could throw the question out. What is the best comeback? Maybe we could do an Ask Reddit post. What is the best comeback to? I don't even watch TV.
Actually, I don't. No, you know what would be really impressive if someone said, "I don't use the internet,"
Yeah.
because then
Yeah.
you don't have any devices,
Right.
Or anything.
Right. Yeah.
That's step it up another notch.
Yeah.
If somebody says, "I don't watch TV," you can be like, "Oh yeah, well I don't use
Yeah.
even the internet."
Yeah, that's another It's Always Sunny joke. There's this waitress that one of the characters is in love with, and she hates him, but she has a huge crush on one of the other characters, and he takes her out to try and get her in on some scheme, and he's like, I need you to go to this website. And she goes, I don't have online, and he goes, you don't have online?
You know, on the web.
And this episode came out probably in 2017, or it's within the past 10 years. I don't have online.
I don't www the web.
Yeah,
Speaking of webs, we were watching Spider-Verse earlier. Across this,
across the
we may or may
Spider-Verse.
not have been watching a movie that was illegally. No, we were watching the first one. We were
Yeah.
watching the old one. Anyway,
You were in the movie theater with tickets that you paid for, watching the new Warner Brothers. Is it Warner Brothers? The new Sony movie,
Sony, yeah.
Across the Spider-Verse,
That was
that is in theaters now.
one of the universes he goes to is the Venom universe. The Chinese
Oh,
lady.
yeah,
You think
yeah.
he goes to that deli where the Chinese lady works.
Yeah,
That's pretty rad. That's
Yeah.
more tied-togethers.
it was Venom from the Venom movie.
Yeah.
See, I've never even
With
seen
Tom
the Venom
Hardy.
movies.
You haven't seen
Yeah.
those?
No,
Those are good.
I thought they looked dumb.
The first one is there's a little slapstick
Yeah,
action, but it's a comic book.
yeah,
It's whatever. I mean, it depends how in love with Tom Hardy's mouth you are, like me. I'll watch whatever he does. But Spider-Verse and these other young superhero movies have a lot of importance put on telling their parents or not
Yeah.
that you're a superhero. It's coming out,
Right.
basically.
Yeah.
It's saying who I am,
Right.
which, again, to me is a little bit presumptuous. Just like believing that there's a part of your body that's going to live forever.
Yeah.
It's that you feel this need to tell the world
Yeah.
who you are.
Well, that's the best part about that, or that's probably the scariest part, I would say. I don't know because I'm not, but the scariest part of a person coming out as gay is probably worrying about supervillains killing their parents
Yeah.
and their family.
You never know.
'Cause if all the supervillains know you're gay, they know how to get to you, and
That's-
that's through your family, right?
That's the new superhero movie.
Yeah.
Telling your parents you're Spider-Man and you're gay. Both in the one movie.
Hey man, if all the people I'm reading with the little flags by their names on Twitter are right, that is literally what it is for gay people. There are supervillains hunting gay people every single day. It's so dangerous to be LGBTQ.
Well, again, if it wasn't a big deal, then everyone would stop making a big deal about it. This
Right.
is just like finding a piece of trash on the ground at your house
Mhm.
and your wife going, "Why didn't you pick that up? It's not a big deal." You saw it before me.
Right.
If it wasn't a big deal then,
Right. That's the
Why is it a big
toilet
deal?
seat argument. It's not that hard to put the toilet seat down. It's also not that hard for you to put it down.
no, she's going to get carpal tunnel
Yeah.
eventually, and the doctor's going to go, "You know why this develops is from women having to put the toilet seats up for their husbands
There's
over
a
and over again."
There's a speaking of which, there's a South Park episode for that too. One of the kids won't put the seat down. Keeps forgetting to put the seat down. His mom keeps yelling at him. Finally, one night she goes to the bathroom and the seat's down and she flushes and she gets sucked into the toilet seat and dies
Nice.
because he didn't put the seat down. And so everybody freaks out about it and they have to start the the Toilet Safety Association,
Yeah.
the TSA, where you have to go through the TSA screening before you go to the bathroom to make sure that you're going to be safe in the bathroom. And so it's a big black lady, and she's like, "Okay, now I have to check your asshole," and like they have to like inspect you and everything.
That's another big thing that women say about the toilet seat being up is I might fall in,
Yeah.
but your ass is too big. Nobody's in danger of falling in the toilet over here. I mean, you're talking about 20 years ago. You may have had to be afraid of the toilet, but I don't see you going anywhere down in there.
Right.
I think you're fine. I don't know if you're aware of how circumference works, but I don't think you're going to be falling into the toilet. But yeah, it would be funny. You hear the story about gay guys coming out to their mother, and their mother's like, "I knew all along. I always knew there was something special about you, and I knew that you were different." It would be really funny if the parent was like, "Okay, can you help me with this? We're trying to make dinner."
Yeah.
Like it was just an aside.
It was, well, I mean, that's kind of,
I need to tell you who I am.
Yeah.
Okay, I need you to go pick up your sister from youth group.
yeah, right. That's kind of that is what it's going to be like, because whenever we were growing up, most of us, at least those of us who are liberal and live in Austin, none of us had any problems with people being gay.
No.
So they come to you thinking that it's this amazing thing, and you're like, "No, we already did this. We've been on board with it the entire time. It's nothing special. We don't care."
Yeah.
You
My
know?
daughter tries to freak my wife out
Yeah.
by saying she's gay, and my wife is like, "I've hooked up with more girls than you."
Yeah, right.
Because you're at 0 and
You're
I'm
not
at
going
3.
to shock me.
So I don't know if you remember L7 in Elastica.
Yeah,
But
right.
I was around for Hole and all that stuff.
Right, yeah. And it reminds me a lot of whenever I would do tech support for, old people in the South, and they would get like porn emails, and they were so like offended by them, they would read them out to me as if they were trying to shock me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I've watched Russian soldiers slit people's throats. I mean, like, you're not going to shock me
Yeah.
by saying, "Ooh, who wants to fuck?" You're not going to get me with that.
My
Like, "Ooh,
clitoris."
yeah, like my dick's so hard and she's so wet." Blah. And I'm like, "Yeah, okay, yeah." And then they started getting ones that
Bro,
were like,
you ever have sex, bro? Do you remember that? It used to be a bit we would do all the time. It was Skip, somebody
yeah,
was bragging about getting laid
yeah,
at a bar, and we were like, we're 31.
yeah. This
We've
has
all
happened
been
multiple
laid a lot.
times. Yeah, this is not.
Bro, you ever have sex, bro?
Yeah. Yeah, it was like
Check
that
it
thing
out.
I was saying to a friend of ours about another friend of ours. Like, the mundane things that happen to everybody are not special when they happen to you. We do not need to talk about them like they're the most important thing that has ever happened in the history of the universe.
They are
because they happen to you.
You're
know?
on the spectrum.
Yeah,
You
right.
can't even get out of bed.
Right.
Crippling social anxiety makes everything difficult. I have been suffering with pie crusts for years.
I've
I
been
literally
struggling with them.
Cannot ever even right now.
Yeah.
I got a bunch more shit. You want to take a break?
Yeah, let's take a break real quick. Hello. Is this thing still on?
Now this is Sunday evening service now.
It's important now.
Listen, I've been trying to counsel you.
I'm like
And
your daddy.
Y'all some ingrate little pussies.
You are not my daddy.
Yeah, I am your daddy.
You are not my daddy
Not my daddy.
at all. Quit the barking. Quit the barking. It's just a person walking.
Are we back? We've never left.
No, I don't think we did.
We were never gone to begin with.
Well, yeah, there went some volume right there.
So Adrian, his little brother, he was on the show explaining Star Citizen to us very early on.
Oh yeah.
He had some audio on here saying how again, the weird space of gaming and how everything's what the product is, and
Yeah.
Star Citizen is a great example of that. You get to have the game by buying a ship, is what he said. He had all his friends over. We usually hang out at Adrian's. He's right down the road, but he's got a little brother now there that's 19. So
Right.
sometimes we go over there and there's like 8 19-year-olds chilling. And they went. Well, we were at the other house, Tooney's house, watching Tooney. It was empty. And they were like, "Hey, Adrian, you want to come have a beer over here?" And he was like, "Yeah, sure." And he came over and he was like, all those boys are out shopping high. They smoked weed and went to HEB.
Badass, dude.
Which is what you can do when you're 19.
Well, I did that the other day.
Look what they got.
Oatmeal cream pies and Pop-Tarts and little Milano cookies.
This is suicide to me. Like,
Yeah.
I can't shop like
Yeah.
that anymore. Like, I can't
That's-
even imagine doing that
That's
at
20-year-old
the store.
groceries. That's not
Or they got
40-year-old groceries.
those brownies with the rainbow sprinkles on them in the background
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
I remember all this stuff, but I just don't buy sugar now.
Yeah.
I don't even look at it. I'm like, it's fun for my kids, I guess. I remember fruit snacks being the shit. We still
Mhm.
have those Welch's fruit snacks, which is such a lie.
Yeah, right.
It's Welch's is juice, and
Yeah.
there's zero juice in those. It's just candy.
It's just sugar.
Yeah.
Just sugar.
I wish I could. But then, all those kids were over in the living room. Nobody was fucking with the TV, so I started playing Ghost of Tsushima
Yeah.
and doing duels like I was just doing here a little bit ago. And they started yelling from the kitchen, "Get his ass!" I was like, oh, they're watching. And then Aiden started talking about the game. Little AIDS. I call him Little AIDS because it's Adrian and Aiden. So it's
Yeah,
Big
right.
AIDS and Little AIDS.
Yeah.
Little AIDS is like, I'm good at that game. You got to dodge. And I paused and I was like, Little AIDS, you have it on hard.
Yeah.
You don't even have it on lethal, son. And he was like, oh, yeah, I put it. And I was like, that's how you like Jin suck guys
Yeah.
on hard?
Yeah.
You like Jin to suck guys to just on hard? I like him to suck guys on lethal.
Mm-hmm.
Jin suck guys. But that's if we could get that kind of situation going on streaming with a bunch of 19-year-olds cheering for us to do duels, that'd be sweet.
Right.
So we were talking about Starfield earlier. They, I'm slathering for trailers, anything from that. They already put out 45 minutes of gameplay. It looks awesome. But they just put out 3 cartoons, 3 like low-budget cartoons about the settled systems of Starfield, which I was watching it. And I was
So it's like a story, a little story?
yeah,
Okay.
people, rebels, pickpocketing, thieving, and stuff. Because there's a pickpocketing mechanic, of
Yeah.
course, in the game. And I was like, that's fucking gay. I want to see the game. What kind of marketing is this? Just short cartoons?
Yeah, right.
And then I looked at our YouTube channel and I was like, oh, yeah. The whole thing when I started was just short cartoons. Maybe that is a good idea.
The Adult Swim approach.
So Rockstar Games fucked up and they're releasing Red Dead 1 with John Marston for Switch and PS4?
Yeah, and it's just a port
Why would anybody release a PS4 game right now?
to get people to
And
pay
it's
for it.
$50, which they could have easily, I don't know how easily. Of according to your dev roommate. But I don't see how hard it would have been for them to just take the story from Red Dead 1 and put it in the Red Dead 2 engine and upgrade it a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, I know they were already working on a PS5 version of Red Dead 2. They could have just made Red Dead 1 in that.
So I guess Red Dead's online play did not take off the way that Grand Theft Auto's online play took off.
It's lucrative. It's not as lucrative.
Yeah.
I played all of it.
So it's still going on and everything? Like,
Yeah, I mean, it was easier to not spend real life money in Red Dead than it was in GTA.
okay.
Because in GTA, it's really tempting to start out and go, I want a flying motorcycle.
Right.
And just spend your parents' credit card.
Uh-huh.
But on Red Dead, it was like, do you want to be able to camp in the woods?
Yeah.
Or do you only want to be able to sleep in the town?
Yeah.
Well, here's $5 you can buy. So I think it wasn't
There's 5 large coins, and when you drop them on the counter, they plunk on the wood.
It wasn't as attractive for, as far as banging for your buck goes. And they didn't have the player base. There's not as many people playing Red Dead as there were Rockstar or was GTA. But they fucked up, and then they did try to do their own redemption, and they made up for it by hiring some modders to be part of the Rockstar community, which is really cool. It's kind of like Cumtown hiring that Australian guy to do all their YouTube stuff because he'd already been doing it anyway.
Yeah.
And they're like the Cremium guy. He's like part of the staff now. He just gets to do all of their clips. That's what I'm going to do with my children. I'm going to make them do it.
Right.
But the two guys that left Rockstar, my favorite two Rockstar Games employees, Leslie Benzies and Dan Hauser, have both started their own companies, and they're trying to sell something, and I'm not sure what it is. What happened?
The stream didn't have any audio.
Uh-oh.
One of our audio inputs.
Well, that's why there was no listeners.
Yeah. Yeah, there it goes. There's the mic. What happened? Oh well. Well, we have it recorded on the
It's
deck.
Schrodinger's stream. If
Have it
no one's
recorded on the
listening,
mixer, so we can release it as an actual episode.
the stream was the tree that fell in the woods with no one
Yeah.
to listen.
Too bad. I guess the video isn't going to be very nice on the YouTube channel, but that's all right.
It's all right. I'll redo it all on YouTube anyway.
I would say, well, I mean, we've done a game stream before. We did Tears of the Kingdom, but we did that on the Batcave channel. I think this is the first god awful YouTube stream that we've done.
I think we should do a Starfield one.
Yeah.
Because you've got the X, so you've got 4K.
Yeah.
I'm going to be playing on the S on your roommate's old TV in my kid's room.
Yeah, right.
I'd rather play it over here with the atmosphere. You've got the optimal home theater setting. We were talking about this the other day.
Yeah.
We were watching people make home theaters and like put all these weird lights and sconces and stuff.
Are you watching it at your house?
Maybe it was Adrian's.
Because I've been watching those too. Are we in the same? We're probably in the same algorithm where that stuff started to pop up for me.
Wasn't that you I was talking to about? Why do they need so many lights? The light is the TV.
No.
If you're making a home theater.
I wasn't there.
Okay.
It must have been somebody else.
That's probably Adrian. The guy was painting all his walls black.
Yeah.
But then he had like the cool vibes light behind the TV that made the mood of whatever you're playing.
Yeah.
Which is dumb. If it's a theater, you watch the fucking show.
Well, I guess it depends on what you're doing, right? So if you're playing a video game, that'd be cool to have like the lighting.
Yeah.
But yeah, a movie. I mean, you can always just turn that part of it off, right? If you watch a movie, you don't have to have the lights behind the screen. I might actually do that whenever ye old roommate moves out. I'm gonna do a lot of stuff to this living room.
Yeah.
And one of them may be putting lighting behind the TV.
Maybe we'll have an episode about fucking with this room.
Yeah. I think that's when season 1 of the God Awful Gospel Hour ends.
Yeah.
Is whenever I have to do a bunch of work on my house because I'm moving stuff into the rooms that'll be vacated. I'm redoing stuff around here. So, or we could just record in the middle of doing all of it and talk about how tired we are.
Oh, we got it. Yeah. We do AI girl voice. I'm so tired. Oh, we can do a remote one at Jason's. We did a remote Zoom show, but we haven't loaded up all of the equipment.
Yeah, we used to, dude, during Drunkcast, we used to do those all the time. It started off, we would move to other places. Sometimes we do Dawn. Most of the time we do Dawns, but then we did one at, what's the German food place that's by campus?
German food by campus? Schultz Beer Garden.
Schultz Beer Garden. We did one there. We did on at Jackalope a few times.
Okay.
I mean, it's just a matter of getting an outlet and then bringing the mixer with you.
So Leslie Benzies has a YouTube video trailer of this game that he's working on. He's from Rockstar Games. He was one of the best conceptual designer guys.
Right.
And it's called Everywhere. And it's I'm not sure what it is. It's a world that you can play in that has cool vehicles and stuff, but they haven't said what system it's on. They haven't said if it's just a game engine.
Yeah.
Or so him and Dan Houser put out that video of Absurd Ventures, which was just like making fun of the content sludge pipe, where it's like, okay, these are people that have made really good games, and I want them to make another game, but they're getting older and trying to reckon with what even the landscape is now, and they're like, we're making a thing, and everyone just look at the environment, and maybe we'll tell you what it is later. We're not sure, because it's like the print media dying. Or all the other old industries dying. They can't figure out what to do next. They're like floundering.
Yeah.
What do we do? I don't know. Just make a world and see if people will want a Fortnite in it.
I think I've said before, I'm kind of the same about video games as I am about like movies and TV and all these companies. I'm like, there needs to be a culling. There needs to be a bunch of like people getting fired. A lot of just things failing. I think we're really due for a downturn in some of these industries, because whenever the downturn happens, that's whenever the real innovation and the real creativity rises to the surface.
Yeah. No one's going to tell them, just make a product that I can purchase and have.
Right.
And stop making video games feel like I'm walking through the mall and there's a kiosk everywhere.
Right.
With an Arabian dude trying to sell me perfume.
Right.
Yeah, Khairash. Sir, my friend.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm trying to go to Victoria's Secret and smell the panties. Leave me alone.
Before I moved down here, I stayed in I was at a duplex, and like right across the street was a liquor store, so I would go in there and I would buy little pints of whiskey for like the weekend or whatever. And every time the guy would be like, "Hey, you're going to see Sugar Mama tonight? You see Sugar Mama? Oh, how about Sugar Mama?" He's like obsessed with the idea that I had I never said anything to him at all.
Yeah.
But he's like, he just assumed that I had a Sugar Mama.
That was his bit. That
Yeah,
was his
that was his thing that
he was a carrot top, and that was his prop.
Right.
He's doing Sugar Mama humor.
You're right.
He's got an hour on Sugar Mamas. He's just working it out on you.
Yeah.
You're his squiggle vision therapist.
Yeah.
So Adam Freeland was on Chapo Trap House recently, and then they were shitting on Nintendo.
Yeah.
For being litigious. There was two Jews angry with a Japanese company for being litigious. It was the pot calling the kettle black. It's like, how dare you? I think it's a self-loathing Jew thing. Like, they're the only ones that are allowed to make fun of themselves, and then no one else is allowed to be litigious. They're like, that's our thing. We're the suing people. You can't. But I mean, I'd rather Nintendo stay closed off like that. I don't want a modded Mario.
Yeah.
They put out Mario Maker. You can make your own thing there.
You do your own thing.
They should make a Zelda Maker. You can make your own Zelda.
That's been a rumor for a long time, but I guess it's not happening.
If you don't buy Baldur's Gate 3, I'm going to end up knowing more about D&D than you.
Yeah, well, it's on my list. I'm just, again, I don't have to buy games the second they come out. I'm still playing Final Fantasy 16. You've seen what I do.
Yeah.
I'm so much more thrifty or whatever.
Yeah.
I played Horizon Forbidden West for 3 months straight.
Yeah.
I played Returnal for 3 months straight. I didn't need any other games.
Yeah.
Because I get up, I go walk 4 miles, I work all day, and then I get done, and I have like 3 hours where I can kind of relax.
Well, you know what you like. You're not going to go buy a weird beer. It might suck. Then you have to drink 6 of that weird beer.
Yeah, right.
I know what I like.
Yeah.
I like Aloy.
I have 2.5 hours in the evening before I get too sleepy and I want to go to bed because I'm too old.
So Horizon and Returnal. So you like sci-fi girls.
Yeah, I like lesbians.
Yeah.
And
in armor. Lesbians in metal armor.
Yeah.
Shooting robots.
Yeah. And so, what am I going to do with 2? I'm not going to play 4 games because 4 games came out in the last 2 weeks for 2.5 hours.
Yeah. Jump out.
I'm going to play this one game that is a 70-hour game for 2 hours a day. And how many months does that come out to, man? Like, I mean, I've been playing when did Final Fantasy 16 come out? It came out in June?
Yeah.
I've been playing it for 2 months.
There was a Dad Gamer review of Final Fantasy 16, and I thought it was going to be about what's inappropriate.
Yeah.
But he was just talking about how offline it is and how easy it is to pause and put down if you have to do something in the house.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Like how easy it is for your wife to bug you and get you to stop playing this game.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why I like Civ, because I can just drop it any moment.
Yeah.
But then I also can't tell my kid, I need to finish my turn, or I need to take over.
Yeah. That would be a problem, though, is if you're in the middle of some long turn and then you have to go do something and it takes you 45 minutes and you come back and you're like, wait, what was I doing?
Yeah.
Where was my strategy going?
Yeah.
Because, every turn you're like, okay, I need this, I need to do this, I need to create this guy, I need to send this guy over here,
Yeah.
I need to change this resource. And then in the middle of all that, it would be so easy for me to forget it.
It's usually about destroying Israel for me. I
You're
just
right.
remember that I'm trying to destroy Israel and then
Right.
continue from there based on all the menus.
Right. Oh, man, now I'm getting a battery thing on the stream on my laptop.
Did you watch the old Valve set I sent you? I shared
Yeah.
it.
Well, was that was that an early set?
It's 2011, yeah. It was filmed. Nick filmed it. My friend Nick from Wisconsin. When he used to live here. That's the only. I only have 2 sets filmed.
Right.
I've got the YouTube one from New Year's Eve,
Right.
which was kind of a big deal, but the Valve one is. I like it better because I like having a filmed set at the Valve.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
The other one was at Cedar Door.
Right. I wish I had my first night at Cedar Door. It was never as good as that night. I have one from like 2 or 3 weeks later, where I don't do as good.
Yeah.
But there was just something about that night that, like, I was like number 6 and the energy was already up, and all I
Yeah.
had to do was just like ride the wave.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah. So I mean, you're half hosting when you're at an open mic. You got to keep everybody going. Let's
Yeah.
keep it going for the host. Blah blah blah. It's all a wave. I can't. I couldn't find my old YouTube set from Cedar Door, and then I found it. But Matt McCusker was on Matt and Shane this last week talking about wanting to get 1 million views for his new special,
Yeah.
Lightspeed. And I'm over here like getting it pumped about 1,000. Ooh, we got 1,000 views on a short. I joke about
About little
epileptic children.
seizures. Yeah.
This is how comedy scales.
Right.
Matt McCusker's looking for 1 million views, and we're pumped on 1,000 of them. Do you remember how they were saying when Trainspotting and Requiem for a Dream were out that they were glamorizing drug use?
I'm sure, but I was not even 15. So
It was one of those concerned bomb words.
right.
Glamorizing.
Yeah.
I mean, those were both a warning to me.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
don't.
Those are
fuck your
horrible.
life up.
Horrible. That those do not show how good it is to do drugs.
Yeah, I don't remember any glamour from any of that. I mean, I didn't feel like I was being glamorized by the vampires.
Right. That's why. I mean, definitely those movies were why I never did heroin. I can tell you that much. Jeez, it scared it out of me. Although, I'm not opposed to getting prescribed some opioids.
Yeah, I'll take it.
First time I had a one time.
Can I get some chronic pain, something?
No, I had a really bad toothache and it ended up needing a root canal. And they were like, well, here's a prescription for 12 Vicodin. And I got the prescription. I took 3 of them immediately. And I was like, oh, this is what they're talking about. It was amazing.
So they built a park next to my office, and they called it encampment. And I don't know why they did that.
Right.
In today's parlance of these times, it's called the St. John's Encampment Park.
That puts other ideas in my
Yeah,
head.
you're asking for homeless
Yeah.
to just come live there. I mean,
Yeah.
there's already encampments in the news everywhere.
Right.
Maybe it's like a biblical thing. St. John was the camping guy.
Yeah.
Remember he was the guy that ate locusts and
Yeah.
baptized Jesus and everything?
Oh, John the Baptist.
Yes.
Josh the Baptist.
Yeah.
He's your namesake.
The
Your
encampment.
your god awful gospel hour character name.
I'm the one out there evangelizing on TikTok.
Yeah.
To get everybody saved. To get more worshipers.
Yeah, I'm just the pastor. I'm the one that has sermons every once in a while.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder what would happen around the world if America went just full Wakanda and cut off from everybody. My life, my rules, my technology, my ideas.
My attitude, yeah.
I mean, now, especially with tech, like what if we just separated off?
Like our
Didn't
lives
know
would
what
change.
China was making or Japan or
No,
anything?
our lives would change so fast. We get so much from the rest of the world. If we completely cut ourselves off, we would. I mean, nobody would want to work anymore. Like there's so many just shit ass slave style jobs that we outsource out to, like just absolute human misery. That we just say, hey, China, you do this. You guys don't care about your citizens. There's a billion of you, and you're under a fascist dictator. Just give us iPhones.
But the American dream, part of it is exclusivity. Like, there's a bunch of Texas boys that are proud to have never even been on a plane. I ain't never even been outside of Abilene. There's a lot of people like
there's
that.
way too many of those
Yeah, but
people.
they've got land. They've got acreage. You know, how nice has it got to be to be able to see for miles?
And you know
and
those
miles?
people can probably dig a well pretty good.
Yeah.
They can probably build a house. They can
don't worry
probably
about pronouns at all. The day is full.
they can weld the shit out of things. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, I mean that's people look at us from the outside, and that's you know, they see kind of Yellowstone-y type stuff where it's like, you know, maybe we don't need to be as involved with all these other countries. Maybe we just need to let everybody have some land and chill out and relax. That
Right.
was what it was supposed to be at the beginning.
Yeah.
Come over here, kill some Indians, and take the woods for yourself, and
Yeah.
give them some blankets and watch them die, and then you can have. some
And
more
then all of a
land.
sudden there's land everywhere.
There's
There's
more
nobody to bug you.
Beautiful views. If I could get the smell of dead
Yeah,
Indians
yeah.
off, it would be beautiful here. Did you hear about Resort Pass? I got these ads for Resort Pass. You can pay $50
Yeah.
for a day and go stay at a resort.
For just one day.
No night, no sleep, no room.
Just
for the
go hang out
Americans.
at a resort for the day and then go home and sleep in your own bed.
You know how many fucked up Walmart beach people are going to be at a resort? Somebody's company paid for them to have a night at a resort
Oh my god.
for a conference.
Yeah.
And you're out of town leaving your family behind.
Right.
You finally get to chill, and there's like 8 retarded Chinese midget children running around the pool.
Yeah,
Braden, stop that!
Just cigarettes.
Because of Resort Pass. Because you can
Right.
now pay $50 to have a resort
Right.
experience. This is what's happening to the economy. They don't make enough money,
Mm-hmm.
so they don't know what to do. They're scrambling for like, how do we? That's like swimmy, whatever that pool thing. You can rent your pool out if you have a pool. in
Oh
your
my, that
backyard.
sounds disgusting.
Yeah, get somebody else's.
I want
dog
those
eggs.
unwashed. Oh,
So I got $1 million idea. It's Big Bubba Airlines because there's not room enough for me or you to really fly.
okay.
They don't make planes like that anymore.
Right.
So it's a smaller jet. It's got 16 seats. They're all like these recliners.
Yeah.
Everybody's got a big flat screen in front
That's really just called first class.
of them. Well, it's first class for the whole plane.
Yeah.
And no stewardess is just a conveyor belt up and down, and you hit like the
Yeah.
screen what you want, and it sends you stuff.
It's a Kura sushi. They just bring
Yeah, Kura
little
sushi.
little pieces of sushi. Oh god, can you imagine airplane sushi?
Big old
How
Bubba
disgusting
Airlines.
that would be.
You never have to sit next to anyone.
Yeah.
It's one chair, and then the aisle in the revolving in the Kura thing,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't have to interact with anyone.
Right.
And it's Big Bubba Airlines. It costs a little bit more, but you don't ever. It's for traveling, large traveling gentlemen.
Right.
Those are the guys that get to the resort pass and they're like, "Fuck, there's people here."
Yeah. Right.
What we were riffing on your rich, loud feminist things, and my tag was eat the rich, but just the dudes.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. keep the rich women to lecture us all about how we still live under a patriarchy, even though the rich men are all dead and eaten.
So did you finish Gemstones?
Yeah.
My favorite line from it was when they were looking at the Redeemer truck,
Uh-huh.
and his son was being shitty to the cousins.
Yeah.
They were like, "He's mean," and he was like, "Goddamn right, I make him mean." I use that for my kids all the time.
Yeah.
My wife and anybody out in the world, they're like, "Your kids are rude. Why are they so rude?" I'm like, "Because fuck you. That's why."
Because I designed them that
Well,
way.
make them mean because
Yeah.
the world is fucked up.
Yeah. My favorite one was we might have touched dicks. When he's talking about him and the race car driver having
Yeah.
that drunken orgy. And then I love the scene when Danny McBride and Stephen Dorff were just flipping their capes at each other.
Yeah.
That was so good.
You know what they don't do in that show ever is turn the other cheek.
Right.
That's what's preached all the time.
I know.
which
Well,
is
I mean, they're all hypocrites. Well, I would say that John Goodman is the least hypocritical out of all of them.
he
but
doesn't
they're all
turn the other
hypocrites.
cheek either. He had a whole gangster season where he was
Yeah.
a wrestler and killed people.
Yeah. Broke people's thumbs. Broke his own son's thumbs.
Turning the other cheek is the dumbest Bible thing. You got hit twice.
Yeah.
You already got
you
hit
just got hit
once.
twice. Yeah.
Now
yeah.
you're going to get hit twice. Now you got 2
Yeah.
busted, bruised cheeks
Yeah.
because you're so meek
Yeah.
and humble. What did anyone learn from that? That you're a pussy.
Right.
And
Right.
that you can hit that guy twice, so he won't do nothing.
Right.
Why are we telling people to do this stuff?
Yeah, it's one of those. A lot of the Jesus stories are one of those that sounds like a person who's way too pleased with themselves.
Yeah.
Like, well, if we just turn the other cheek and
I
we
don't
just let
watch
people get
TV.
away, then we are. That actually means that we're good. That
Yeah.
actually means that we're better.
I've never used the internet.
Yeah.
I don't shit on women.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of one of those. It's almost like turning the other cheek is a little bit like the whole argument where it's like, well, woke actually just means that you're aware of the systemic injustices in the world. So if you're against being woke, then you're against, you're pro racism.
You know what we should do after we go to Chick-fil-A and say fuck you?
Yeah.
Pleasure. We should go to church and slap some Christian girls on the ass.
Yeah.
And then they get mad. Go, what? Turn the other cheek.
Yeah.
Here comes the other one.
Oh, are you gonna cancel me?
I thought we were supposed to turn the other cheek. Just let me look at the other side of it.
Yeah, the people who are, pro cancellation are definitely not the turn the other cheek types. Did you hear what they said on that podcast?
There's a better version of No Hard Feelings now up on Plex. If you want to watch it, it's pretty good.
Oh yeah, I do want to watch that movie.
They did what we were saying they don't do in movies anymore. They have a bumbling female comedy person.
Oh, is it Jennifer Lawrence?
It's tearing at the fabric of society now.
Yeah.
That they're degrading women.
But
in this
she's
way.
so relatable.
Well, she's not funny. She just yells.
Yeah.
But it's. I mean, she's it's like De Niro playing in the comedy space. She's a great actress.
Yeah.
She has a fully nude beach fight scene.
Okay.
Like Eastern Promises.
Right.
Like she's just buck naked
Yeah.
beating up kids.
Yeah, I heard about that.
It's insane.
Yeah.
We were talking about Henry Cavill's girlfriend trying to get him to have sex, and he's too busy building his computer.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But now because he's the Witcher, she probably married him because she wanted to, or he has a girlfriend. His girlfriend was like, I'm fucking Superman, telling all her friends, but now she's fucking the Witcher. But then she asked him to come to bed, and he's like, calm down. And then she starts getting mad, and he's like, storm's coming. Take it easy.
Damn, you're ugly. And then he has to sleep on the couch.
He's taking a shower. She gets in the shower, and he's like, "What's now, you piece of filth?" We have another TikTok follower that I wanted to shout out, Owen Mills. I didn't even know it was his real name because that's where I went to get my photos taken when I was little. Owen Mills Photography.
Yeah.
He's really good. He's a singer. I'll show you some of his videos.
Yeah.
He looks really young, but he's in a world where people are expressing themselves online in quick little snippets.
Yeah.
He's not afraid to get in front of the camera, play some guitar, and rip out some little country ditties. And he's
Yeah.
a really talented young man. Hopefully he goes far. I don't know. All we can do is promote him on here. Everybody check out Owen Mills. I'll put a little link
On the TikTok.
I think he was really good. It's fun to see young kids doing that well.
Yeah.
Last night I've been as it gets to a certain point in the evening, I put on Yacht Rock a lot.
Oh yeah.
And I found a new favorite guy. His name is Robert John. He sounds kind of like ABBA.
Okay.
And he's from that same. It's like the mix of Northern Soul and Muscle Shoals.
Okay.
Like the British ABBA type guys,
Yeah,
and then the
yeah.
American kind of bluesy. Some of it sounds a little Primal Screamy, but I was up late last night listening to that. And then my last bit this evening, Sunday evening men's prayer breakfast service, is about Cedric, my favorite human on earth.
Yeah.
One of my favorite, one of the funniest people I know.
Okay.
I don't know if he would ever do a comedy show. Recently, he lost 2 toes to diabetes. He's got 2 wooden toes, so I don't know if he's.
How does he keep him on? Is there a strap?
He's got a boot.
Okay.
Yeah, he puts him in the. I don't know. He used to. This girl at work used to make fun of him for going, "My toe hurts,"
Oh.
and now she's the asshole.
Yeah, right.
His toes are gone now. But I didn't know his diabetes was that bad. He's a rad dude. He lives in Elgin. He's got horses.
Oh, really?
His wife is a dental hygienist, and so she pays for him to have. He only works for where I work, so that he can have horses.
Oh,
Like,
that's awesome.
His job supports his hobby.
That's cool.
They got 2 kids, 2 beautiful kids that are excellent at volleyball. But he, we used to riff all day long in the car together, and again, black people are funnier than white people. Is it racist if it's
If it's positive, yeah. Oh, we asked Chiaki. She didn't care.
Yeah, it's a good.
So my Japanese friend says that it's okay
Yeah.
for us to have positive stereotypes.
Japanese people are the experts on cultural competency of
right.
around the world and everyone else.
That's what Derek was saying. He was like, Japanese people are so good at taking something and then just making it excellent.
Yeah. Refining.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we had Cedric and I were in the truck one day. He was riding with me, and there was a lady. We were on Lamar heading southbound in the stop at a light, and to the left of me there was a lady licking on a lollipop Did I tell this
What?
story on here already?
I don't think so.
But so I cracked my window, and she had music really loud, and she
Right.
had her window down, and she was dancing to the music, licking this lollipop really sexually.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's an awesome thing for two guys in the truck to see in the middle of the goddamn work.
Hell
day,
yeah.
Stuck in traffic. I mean, these are the guys that anytime they had to cross town, somehow the route was through campus.
Yeah.
So you could look at ass. But so he said, "Cut the window down," and I was like, "Oh, what? We're looking at her. It's fine." And he's like, "No, but cut the window down." So I put the window down, and he leaned over into my lap and looked at her while she was licking a lollipop, and then she looked over at him, and he goes, "Yeah, I like that." And I was so embarrassed. I was like, "Oh my God, we're gonna get Me Too. We're gonna get in trouble for
Yeah.
like harassing this woman." But she started doing it more. She got crazy on the lollipop. She wanted an audience. She was waiting for an audience.
was he the one that was? You said he would just turn it on when he saw a woman.
Yeah.
He'd be like, you said you walked into a
All right now.
y'all walked into a convenience store, and he's
Sean B.
like, "Hey, I was looking for you."
Yeah.
Or was that a different guy?
No, that was Sean B.
That was Sean
This
B,
is a
yeah.
different guy.
Yeah.
In the lobby of the Jack in the Box. We
Yeah.
were walking in. We were hungry. It was time to get lunch. And
Yeah.
some girl walked out. And we were walking in talking about what we were going to order. And then
Yeah.
he just immediately did a U-turn in between the two doors to get in. And he was like, "Hey, I was just looking for you." I was like, "God damn, dude. I thought we were going to have lunch. I guess it's time to get pussy right now."
Yeah.
Interlude for the pussy.
Yeah.
But Cedric and I were riding around listening to the radio all day long. And I don't know if you remember those commercials for American Standard Heating and Air. Their spokesman is Nolan Ryan.
Okay. Oh yeah.
And Nolan Ryan is old.
Yeah.
So you can hear him that he's already had a few strokes. Because he's like Biden. He has a really hard time with American Standard Heating and Air.
He's had a few no hitters.
And he comes in every commercial. He goes, "I'm Nolan Ryan. And this is American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning."
Yeah.
And he says it too many times. It's like three times in the commercial. He's like, "And I'm Nolan Ryan.
He said, yeah.
And also, I'm still Nolan Ryan." So we use that as like a badass "don't fuck with me" thing at work. Anytime anybody, if you do something right and somebody goes, "Hey, good job," you go, "I'm Nolan Ryan." And from across, we're striping a road. He's at another corner. We can barely see each other. We're just hollering across the city from truck to truck. "I'm Nolan Ryan. You're not Nolan Ryan. I'm Nolan Ryan." Cedric was the one that sat next to me on the toilet and started praying because of the noises I was making.
Oh yeah.
Oh Lord, I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Okay. You should see if he wants to come on a podcast.
Oh, I would love it. I don't know how public he wants to be with himself.
We could give him a different name.
Yeah.
We could do all kinds of stuff.
It might be a pay thing.
He could
I'll
be
have to
a-
start making money.
He could be a traveling preacher from the Black Church.
There's a lot of people that we need to get in here.
Yeah.
Matt Lamson, my friend Matt Lamson from Chicago, is going to come. He was the one who went to school with me in Europe.
Cool.
So I'm saving the being homeless in Rotterdam story
Yeah.
to get his side of it.
Yeah.
He's going to remote in, and we're going to catch up, hopefully.
Nice. One
And
of these
then-
days we need to get both Travis and Dylan from Drunkcast from Content Pending.
The prequel
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah.
Episode 0.
Yeah.
Origins.
Origins.
Wolverine Origins.
Yeah. Yeah. With Deadpool with his mouth sewn shut. All right. Well, I think we have an hour of time with all the dead air and and everything, but I can edit this into a podcast.
One
so.
gospel hour.
All right. We're going to go away now, and we'll be back next time. Bye.
Bye and good night.